prompts for this month's mini mission is handed down by Mission Controller M, Mike Deakin of MikeDeakinArt.com, is simply keys. I will put the prompts up here, the prompt up here that he sent for us. And this one, I really don't have any idea about how I want it to turn out. I know what products I want to try and use in it, and something is specific for a background, but otherwise it's kind of by the seat of your pants kind of designing. Usually I have something in mind whenever I do one, but this one I decided to just go with the flow and see how it turned out. So with that said, I'm going to go to my overhead camera and I'm going to start designing this week's mini mission. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. Tonight I'm going to work on my mini mission for February, as handed down by Mission Controller M, aka Mike Deakin of MikeDeakinArt.com. So the prompt was keys, which I indicated in the earlier in the video, and this is my interpretation. For this, I'm going to use my tag journal that I made with my tags, which I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, are 5 by 3. Let me measure them real quick. Yes, 5 by 3. 5.5 by 3 to be correct. What I'm going to do is this is a piece of paper that ran off out of my printer, and my printer was running out of ink, and at first I thought I'd throw it away, but then I thought, well, keep it, you might be able to use it for something. And I really like the texture of the lines on it, so I'm going to use it for my mini mission today. So I'm going to cover up the printed part of my tag with this. So the first thing I need to do is put gesso onto my tag. And I found that I need to put something down because it's so hard to clean this, not gesso, but this matte medium off of my glass. I have to scrub and scrub and scrub, because by the time I get around to getting to clean it, it's already dried. Now, as you can hear, little Miss Rue is in top form. She's had a good couple days, lots of barking, lots of acting like she's felt good. She's wanting to stay outside in the yard, which she can't go out unless she's on a leash, which means I have to go with her because there's just too many stray dogs around here to let her run loose. So we're going to put this down. I'm really not worried about where I put it. I just want to make sure that I have color all over it. Move that over there. And open it up. Flip this over onto it because I know some's going to squish out. It always does. Put that there. And rub this down real good. I did already pre-treat my paper. I hope I did it well enough. I only put one coat on it, so we will see if one coat's going to do it or not. I will know for future reference. When I did my Comic-Con journal cover, I did 3 coats on it. So, we'll see if it works. And like I said, it did squish out a little bit. Always does. As always, the edges I don't get enough on. Try and get those air bubbles out as much as possible. I mean, they just help to add texture. I don't know why I'm worried about it. Let's see how this is. Well, it's sticking to my paper on the back. Alright, go ahead and trim it. Get that done, so maybe it'll be a little bit easier to work with. We will see. I really don't see how it could make it harder to work with. Just like last month, I'm squeaking in at the end of the month on my mini mission. I keep telling myself I'm going to get it done earlier, but it hasn't happened yet. So I do apologize. But I do get it done. I think last month I got done in early February. So, you know, just how it is. Grab that a little bit more now. Got almost all those bubbles out. Still a few, but not like there was. That's going to be a pretty background, I think. I didn't do too good job of trimming it, though. Real bad. My eyesight's bad. Even with glasses, I can't see what I'm doing. It's sad. Very, very, it's tough getting old. Okay. So there's my background. And we'll go ahead and go over that with some sealer. Make sure it's nice and attached. Don't want anything coming loose. And this will tell us if I did a good enough job on sealing, prepping my paper, because if it's going to move, it's going to move now. But it doesn't seem to be moving. Seems to be doing okay. I am not seeing anything on my brush, so that's good. So now I'm going to dry this. Hit it with the heat gun, and then we'll move on to step 2. So that's not completely dry. It's still just a little bit tacky, not much. So I'm going to set that to the side while I work on my key. My key is a wooden key that I pulled out of my stash. And I want to gesso it so that I can make it look more metallic. So we'll go ahead and do that. Making sure I get the edges good. Don't want none of that plain brown look to show. The little froggies are singing tonight. I can hear them. So pretty sounding. So there's my gesso on that, my black gesso. I can set that to the side and hit that real quick with the heat gun. It shouldn't take too long at all. Now I want to pull out my copper, or is it bronze? Gold, solid bronze by Folk Art, metallic. This is what I use on my steampunk items. And I'm going to dry brush this to make it look metallic, like an old key. And as with all this, doing all this, less is more. So you need a dry brush, and you just need to be patient on putting your layers on. And it will come out the way you want. You just, like I said, a little at a time, and be patient. And evidently my gesso wasn't completely dry. Let me dry that some more. Okay, let's see what that gets us. I usually put 2 or 3 layers on, and I do like to go back and forth. I mean, in different directions with it, so that it gets a little bit more coverage without showing so many brush strokes. At least in my experience, it has done well with that. So, I mean, it's all with how you want to do it. Not everybody's going to do it the same, and I'm not saying my way's right and someone else's is wrong. It's the way I choose to do it, and I'm happy with it. So, and the great thing about dry brushing is that it dries very fast. So, there's my key. Very metallic looking. Exactly what I was looking for. Now, I'm going to go back to my tag, which I think it's dry enough to work on. And I want to do some paint texture on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of my bubble wrap. And I'm going to take my brush and some, what color do I want to use? We'll try champagne first. If that's not dark enough, we might have to go with a silver. I'm just trying to get some real light texture here in the background. Nothing of major account or anything. Yeah, that'll work for what I want. Okay, that's good. I don't know where my book of unused paints at, so unlisted paint. Now I also want to put some, probably some, don't know what, I might just do some splatters and leave it at that, because I don't want to take too much away from my background. And I'm afraid that if I get too much with the texture, that's exactly what will happen. I'll put a little bit white out here. Get my fan brush, which is so stained from where I've been using reds on it. A couple of spritzes of water on there to get it nice and inky. And I'm going to splat it. Maybe, maybe not. May not have been inky enough. Let's see. Now let's see what we got. Yeah. Okay, like I said, just very little. And let me clean that up real fast so it won't get all over everything else. Okay, so there's my tag, and I'm going to hit that with the heat gun real good. Okay, so I'm going to pull my champagne back out. And I'm going to go around the edges using it with my finger, because I don't have anything in really this color. All I have is black or white and ink, so I'll just use my finger for this. Just hit and miss it. A little bit more out on my mat there. Okay, that's good. Hit that with the heat gun real quick. So that's dry enough around the edges for me to work with it now. It's not exactly completely dry, but I can work around it. So now the next step is to put my key on and my wording. So let me put my key on first. ahead and put that down. And this is a little trick I saw our mission controller do, Mike. If you get too much glue on it, just take a paintbrush and brush it off. As long as you don't let the paint set in the brush and get it put into water, you should be okay. Going to save me from a lot of globs of paint showing on my stuff from now on. Something as simple as that. Who would have thought? Okay, there we go. There's my key down. And that's how that looks. And now to put my words down. My phrase for this one is the key to your happiness is you. Plain and simple. So let's get those put down. Make my trash can over here so I won't have papers all over the floor that Miss Rue will want to pick up and carry to her bed and guard. Getting this on here straight will be the problem now. I'm not the best at putting the wording on straight. Do the best I can and go from there. I tried to not cut them all real straight on the ends either. I wanted a haphazard look, but it looks like on a few of them I still got my straight edges. So it wasn't quite as haphazard as I hoped it would be. At least it's easy to get the backs off of them, so I shouldn't complain too much. Okay, and so for my wording, I want to try and find my white pen. This is my Signo Uniball, I think it's broad, UM153, and I'm going to outline my wording with that. I don't want to get too close to it because the whole idea is for it to help it to pop out a little bit more, and if I get right up against it, it defeats the purpose. So and there we have it. My mini mission for February completed. I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to say it's done. So that's my mini mission for February. A new entry into my tag journal, which right now only holds my steampunk tag that I practiced on and my mini mission from last month. It looks like my mini missions are going to be tags right now. But that's how it turned out. I was really happy with it. And here's another look at it. I'm sorry. There. And like I said, the prompt was keys. And for me, that triggered the key to your happiness is you. That's what my mom always told me. Because I was always like a downer kind of individual. And she used to say, well, you know, you're the one who can control your happiness. You're the key to it. So I thought it appropriate. So I'm glad I got it done. I got it done within the month of February this month. So I'm happy about that as well. And I so enjoyed having you join me and watch me as I created that tag. And I hope you'll come back for future videos. Until the next time, bye guys.